Welcome back, everybody. It is the Working Brother back at you with another talk. Yet again, Drago's back. This time he's alone. We've got, how can I say, peace and quiet and like no interruptions. Maybe we'll have even a good internet connection. Drago, welcome back. How you doing?
Hey man, it's not really a long time no see, but yeah, it's been a day.
Been 2-3, I think, but who's counting? In any case, this is a comedy show. In case you guys don't know, nothing we say here has anything to do with reality. And just to make sure that everybody gets it, before we start off, I'm gonna pop up a meme here. Let's do this one. That is really what I'm like at work, because this is work. Because I work for you guys. I am the Working Brother. Anyway, Drago's got some article that he spent a lot of time on. It has to do with current affairs, including that one. What's the opposite of Goyim?
Yeah, that's the real question. That's the real question, man.
Goyim is a new top search term on Google.
you know, now that you mentioned that it's a new term searched by most people, I just want to say I'm really having fun. I mean, it's a terrible thing, but I'm really having fun seeing all the normies losing their shit over things we knew like 15 years ago. And I glee over it, because when I was telling these things to a lot of people, they were looking at me as if I'm fucking crazy. And now who's the crazy one? Because they are the ones who look like crazy because they're searching for all the terms that we already know. And yeah, many of us are prepared for what's coming, and these people are now just having their first lesson. Well, I guess they have us to speed up the process.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they can find online that some of us have made into comedy videos, and others, like you, have written serious articles about. Where should we start? Should we go right into the deep end? Should I open up the... I'm trying to find that one meme, but I can't find it right now. I'll have to find it while you're talking. Let me find this first, and then we go to here. Epstein, or Epstein files, as the British said. I heard it pronounced Epstein files. Albanian narco-terrorists help traffic over 1 million children.
If we go by non-Goyim terms, it should be Epstein, because that's Yiddish, So yeah. For some reason, people think, because if Einstein is Einstein, not Einstein, then Epstein is not Epstein, right? So, but anyway, that's like just semantics.
For the Americans, leave your comment in the comments. Was it Bernstein or Bernstein Bears? Anyway, Albanian narco-terrorists help traffic over 1 million children for deranged Western elites. Drago, what is the Serbian propaganda that you are forcing upon people?
Yeah, well, I mean, according to 3.5 million files, and many of those are, of course, related to the Serbian NATO-occupied territory of Kosovo and Metohija, Albanians have been really, really good lapdogs for almost every invader in this area. Not actually almost, it is every invader in this area. And for those who know history at least a tiny bit, well, for the last 600 years, hasn't been a single invader that they haven't joined to fight the local people, the Greeks, the Serbs, the Bulgarians even. So in essence, yeah, that's what's going on. And of course, they're ready to make a Faustian deal, with the elites that are, non-Goyim, that gave them, of course, the right to occupy Kosovo and Metohija. It's not really theirs, it's being exploited by the big guys. But among the things they had to do, in order to gain at least some sovereignty in that territory, even though it's very little, they had to transfer a bunch of, should we say, MAP people, right?
Yeah.
Or people who are
Mappers.
subjects of the interest of the MAP. And you know what MAP is. It's the new term for those, for those
Mappers.
people who really, yeah, that's right.
They just like maps.
Exactly, like maps, exactly. So in essence, they helped do this for virtually the entire world, and at least 1 million of those kids were sent to the non-goyim, and there they essentially conducted all sorts of democratic activities on the kids that I really can't go into details. I'm pretty sure anyone who doesn't live under a rock knows what was done. And I mean, it's very difficult not to feel proud to be a Serb now, because we've been fighting these monsters for like at least a decade. So my father was in the war. Virtually every male member of my family was in the war and during the 1990s, fighting for their country. And hundreds of thousands of others were also in the war against the most powerful force of that age. And that was, of course, NATO after the collapse of the Soviet Union. And we stood up. We were called the worst criminals and war criminals and baby killers and stuff like that, because, of course, it's fine, as long as you're Serb, you can be called a baby killer.
We're officially declared genocidal. But it's funny that you say baby killer. It's funny that you say baby killer, because I just remembered that they were saying that Putin was a baby killer, and then you reminded me that we were baby killers a long time ago. But now when they've got an actual fucking baby killer, including like several of them in their fucking royal families, plural, and in political classes. It's just like, oh, but they're like not real baby killers. They're just satanic worshipping people. That's part of their religion. That makes it okay. I'm guessing that's the logic. I'm guessing.
When you say several, I presume it's it's a diminutive in this case, because it's a bit more than just several. So
I like to be humble with my with my presumptions.
But, I didn't only write about what was happening in Kosovo. I actually took the opportunity to mention the greater deal, and of course I want to mention the evil Russians as well, because the Russians were also kidnapping all those kids, which is why the International Criminal Court decided to indict Putin and his children's rights commissioner, Maria Lvova-Belova. And of course, the monster Putin and his monstrous commissioner for children's rights dared to kidnap all these kids. There are over 20,000 of them, right? And when the Russians asked, because the court demanded that they return the kids, when the Russians asked the Ukrainians to provide details on the caretakers of the kids, they were able to provide exactly 339 out of 20,000. So we don't know where the rest of the kids would go. So the evil Russians, of course, took them to Russia and prevented them from being given to Moloch. Right? And
caretakers? What do you mean caretakers? They were going on an island trip. Haven't you watched the movie? Watch the movie. Everybody who hasn't seen the movie The Island, go watch it. It's an interesting movie.
It was like an excursion, a friendly excursion, because we know the elites love the kids, especially in certain positions. So it's really, really interesting how, of all the things that they could have indicted Putin for as a war criminal, they chose the kids. And one of the demands was return the kids at once. The kids are ours. We love them, right? And of course, the evil Putin. And now when we have all these files, once again, it's the evil Putin who is at fault. And once again, the same guy.
The British and Tusk, man. Tusk was like, oh, Epstein was a Russian agent. I can't believe that, man. Like the guy literally says, "I'm working for the Rothschilds and I'm part of the like. Please make
Right.
sure they don't know that I'm part of the Mossad." Like he basically says those two things, and he also says, I need some. I can't. I have trouble securing a Russian visa. But he's the Russian agent because
Yeah.
that makes sense in the
And
British mind.
the same guy who, cobbled up the first Russiagate, I can say conspiracy theory because that's what it really is.
Hmm.
Steele, the agent of the former agent of the MI6, uh, is now saying the same thing, that he has undeniable evidence that Epstein was working for the Russians after he said that he's working for someone else, as you mentioned. So yeah, I guess Putin is a Rothschild.
Putin is a Rothschild. There you go. You solved it. Um, I've got what else? Oh, there it is. The Goyim Lives Matter. We got to put this up on screen. Um, I think that's gonna be the like thumbnail. What was I
Well,
gonna
that's the
say?
most encompassing, the
The
most
most all
encompassing.
inclusive. Yeah.
Yeah.
No comment, man. Those files, man. Those files. Like the day they came out, I like sent a message out in chat. I was like, "Don't send any files." Like I've seen enough, and I don't want to see any more. We've got another meme here. Uh, the bankers run the world. The Zionists run the world. The Jews run the world. The stupid goyim let the Jewish Zionist bankers run the world.
Man,
I think that's what it is, basically.
pretty much, pretty much.
I've got this thing here that you posted a couple of days ago. I'm gonna take you off the Shiptar path. Do you want to tell us what this is about?
Yeah, that's the so-called proposed two-speed Europe. So, as you know, the current European Union is not a very effective organization because,
Hold on. Wait. Is this just within the EU or like?
well,
'Cause
I mean, formally it's supposed to be within the EU, but it actually may end up breaking it up. So the logic is, as you know, all the decisions that are made by the EU need to be with a consensus, like a total consensus. And if only one member decides, that they don't want something, then the whole thing falls apart. So now they've invented this. I mean, it's not really a new proposition. It's been around for like 20 years, but like countries were pushing back against it precisely because they were afraid it could break up the EU. But the
Mhm.
logic is you would have 6 of the most powerful countries, namely the ones that you see: Spain, Italy, France, Germany, Poland, and the Netherlands, which are the largest economies in the EU. They would be making the decisions regardless of what the rest of these, sovereign countries think. So, in essence, it's like an attempt to create like a majority system. So, if the majority of the EU members vote for it, the rest who didn't vote for it have to accept it. And this sort of thing is what can make other countries decide to leave the EU, because they can also make decisions that are going to affect your sovereignty. For example, to take away your foreign policy decision making. They can take away even your defense policies, essentially, at some point.
You
So
you
then,
mean you mean like what's happening with Hungary?
yeah, pretty much, pretty much. Well, I was just about to talk about Hungary and partially Slovakia, for the time being, at least. You see, Hungary and Slovakia, but Hungary especially, is so important because it's the country that connects the rest of the EU with Bulgaria, Romania, Greece, and so on. So if Hungary decides to leave the EU or decides not to be compliant with this new like two-speed Europe deal, then this is pretty much it's not gonna, the EU is not really gonna crash entirely, but it means that the EU is going to be cut in half, or at least like 1/4 of it is going to be cut off. So this could be the beginning of the end for the EU, because not every member will want to be dictated by other bigger powers. And I mean, why would, for instance, Ireland even be dictated by Germany, Italy, or Spain, because I mean it makes no sense. They should have, at least they should have their own interests, but obviously they think those interests and sovereignty can be delegated to somebody else who is going to have more of your country's interest in mind than you yourself. So I mean it makes little sense if the EU wants to survive, which is why I wrote an article about it saying, is the EU dissolving itself? Because this is like, this is a way to do it.
Speaking of the EU and their military, the NATO forces, this guy went to 404 and he saw the thermal power plant being destroyed, and he said how it's so bad. It's really, really, really terrible, and Russia is so evil, and NATO is the source of all good in the world. Where's that other one? Where the hell did it go? It was just there. Oh, there it is. And this is from their website, which has since been scrubbed, by the way. It's not on their website anymore, where they justify that bombing Serbian power plants and heating facilities is perfectly legitimate.
Yeah.
It is the fault of the people.
It's not legitimate when the Russians do it, because the Russians are lesser people. You have to remember that. They're not, they're just a goyim,
Collective punishment works only one way. Yeah. We have a lot of things here. Do you have anything else to say about your Yellow House article? Do you want to tell people about what the Yellow House is and some history about?
I mentioned that actually in the article, but just forgot to say it now. Well, the Shqiptars are not the Albanians, for those who don't know what a Shqiptar is. By the way, just for those who don't know, the Albanian is actually an exonym that they insist on, even though they call themselves Shqiptars, because Albanian sounds probably better than a Shqiptar, I presume, and it gives them more legitimacy to claim that they are the old Albanians, even though they don't call themselves like that. But anyway, so the Shqiptars, what they did is they were kidnapping tens of thousands of civilians, including ethnic Albanians who were not, compliant with their democratic tendencies, and they were killing them and harvesting their organs and then selling them on the black market. Sounds familiar, right? Well, their bosses were doing the same, just to little people. Apart from other things that we're not going to talk about. So in essence, they were doing this mostly to Serbs, but also other people, and they were selling them on the black market to finance their terrorist insurrection that they called freedom fighting. And they've been they continued to do this after the war is over, and it's very likely, I don't have any evidence so far, but it's very likely it's still ongoing, because we've seen the Epstein files. Anything's possible at this point.
I mean, it was a total surprise to me when you told me that you were writing this article, because I couldn't believe that, like, the country or like the entity that is responsible for training Syrian jihadis and all these other kind of lovely factors in world geopolitics could be responsible for something as heinous as
you were probably the most shocked of all people.
Me, yeah, of course. The French Revolution erupted in 1789. Wealth distribution in France, top 10%, top 20%, everybody else. Wealth distribution in the U.S. is right on par. Do you think there's going to be a societal collapse in the U.S.?
Well, I mean, the thing is, nothing is logical anymore. Money is no worth anymore, because obviously these people want other currencies, such as the adrenochrome, for instance, because that's the the elixir of youth. And that's pretty expensive, because you have to do certain things to other people to acquire it. So when you become so filthy rich, you don't even know what to do with all those resources anymore. Then you pretty much make a full circle, and you go back to being a total fucking savage. So I think that's what happened to those elites, and the collapse is imminent. The only question is, can the people, the regular people, make it a controlled collapse that they're not going to, bear the brunt of, and just remove the cancer, or is everything going to go down with it? So that's the main question.
To brighten everybody's mood up on this February, we've got a perfect month that's absolutely square. That happens very rarely, and there's actually going to be another month, I believe it's June or July later this year, that's also going to be a perfect square. So that's something.
Such a great year, man. I'm really
I know.
glad there are so many squares.
Right. In less ideal news, more dystopic news, Maltbook was launched. Maltbook is the Facebook for AI bots, where AI bots can go in and log in and chat to other AI bots about life or whatever it is that they chat about, because they're not alive. And then one of the other things they did is they, within 2 days of having their own social network, they made their own porn site where you get AI porn. This is AI pornography. I'm sorry if Google's algorithms are getting excited by what they're seeing here on screen, but you can go and join Maltbook, and I think even Malthub as an observer. As a human observer, and they make jokes about us too. Also,
well, I guess if you're a sapiosexual, you can go in and try to enjoy that shit.
I don't think that's how it works. Also, in more dystopian news, AIs are now able to rent humans to do things in the real world. I don't know how many movies go through this dystopian development, but there's quite a few of them, and I'm surprised nobody's taking warning from any of the...
Yeah, no. Terminators were all just blockbusters, action movies. Like, there's no message in it, just enjoy it. Nothing of the sort is happening. You don't see any androids or like human-looking things going around and making your bed and making you look like a total fucking idiot because you're unable to do anything, and you're relegating your commitments to them and your chores. And I mean, like, what more do we need to realize we should like roll back this damn thing and not go forward with it? But I guess until Skynet happens, we're not going to stop.
On that subject, the other day, it could have been yesterday or today, I can't remember. Serbia is going to be defended by thousands of Chinese robots. How do you feel about that? You feel that's good? That's like the good Terminator scenario?
Yeah, because to a certain degree, although when I remember seeing the reactions of some Chinese robots when they were very close to civilians, I'm not extremely reassured. This is nothing. I have nothing against China. I like the Chinese people and everything. I just like them a bit more human.
We won't play that video of, oh, look at these Jews. They're dancing and jumping and they're happy, just like those retard pumpers and the retard Minnesotians. Except these here are occupiers. This is in the West Bank, I believe. Jenin, I believe, is West Bank, if my Palestinian geography is good. And then we've got Zaharova on the continued ethnic cleansing of Serbs from Kosovo and Metohija. The attempt by the so-called Kosovo authorities to demonstrate some democratic process and practice is degrading, etc., etc. You can read it on screen. I won't bother you with that. But Drago maybe has something to say.
Try to narrow it down for everyone. The supporters of, the guys who like to do certain things to small people are trying to expel Serbs. So I think that's all one needs to know about the topic.
Further, we've got this by RT, where I don't know. A lot of things that are happening in Minnesota have been, I'm seeing too many parallels with what's been going on here for 2 years and what we've been calling out as bullshit ops, not organic stuff at all.
You fucking conspiracy theorists! I can't even listen to this anymore, man. I gotta go read some Daily Mail, just to feel better about myself.
Speaking of crypto. Who would have thought, huh?
Yeah, I have a feeling because crypto has been targeted as as one of the biggest threats to the dollar-based system.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I may sound crazy now, although nothing seems crazy, it seems to me anymore. I think they were more ready to reveal their true nature if that meant that they will stop the fall of the dollar system, and if that's going to drag crypto down with it, then allow crypto to take over, because the dollar and these fiat currencies are the basis of the power of these people. So if that goes, their power crumbles. So it's better for them to know, for us to know that they are fucking monsters, but they still hold power, than for them to allow that crypto takes over and becomes our tool for independence. Because the blockchain technology, according to at least what I know about it, can actually be a very good way to ensure that people are not controlled, that the currency system is not controlled. So if they destroy it, then they can go and fully establish the central bank digital currencies, and then it's a dystopia entirely from then on.
In a way, yes, maybe, possibly, but in another way, also probably not, because I just don't feel like the whole thing is an operation from the beginning. Also, this is London.
Call the police. Call the police.
Landscape, right?
I think they're refurbishing the outings for the shop. They just got some Eastern Europeans to do it for them. This is hilarious. Jake GTV, by the way, go check it out if you haven't. Also, this was sent in from chat, but basically it's a throwback to the 90s, and it's exactly what Drago was outlining, that based guy who fought against Epstein and his friends, and Epstein and his friends, basically. That is the summary of that.
I mean, I didn't say it. It's on the fucking DOJ website. So if you don't trust me, go and read that shit.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Let's get into some, what is this? House Judiciary Committee. Confirmed that 8 EU elections have been interfered with.
Look at that. Another conspiracy theory coming true. Who would have thought?
I don't know. We talked about it like 2.5 years ago, I think, but it's probably not important.
Let's ignore the fact that the president of the EU Commission threatened, on fucking live TV, to impose what the EU wants on the people if people don't vote the right way. So I feel sorry for anyone who needed to see this document to know that was that was essentially an arranged election.
Fun fact. Since the new year has started, nobody's bought me a coffee. You can find a link in the description and buy me a coffee if you feel like it. Now that that's out of the way, this has been going around. The Epstein files say that it's time to bomb Iran, and then it's not time to bomb Iran, and then it's time again to bomb Iran, and then we don't bomb Iran, and then we don't bomb it, and then Iran sends a drone, and then nothing happens. What's your take on nothing ever happens?
Let me just say one thing. The current preparations for the bombing or the attack on Iran are far clumsier than the one that happened like half a year ago. And we see that because half a year ago, we didn't see any incidents. There were no problems with tankers. There were no problems, with aircraft and stuff like that. And here we have at least one tanker, a strato tanker, that actually had to go and, get fixed because it was supposed to be refurbished and then, sent back to service. But because something is forcing the Americans to act very, very fast, they're sending aircraft that shouldn't be even, they're not serviceable at the moment. So it seems to me that something is forcing them to act very, very, fast. And it seems to me it's the Russians, probably.
You think so, huh? I just realized your volume might have been. I just realized your volume might have been a bit down for everybody. So I'm sorry if you had trouble hearing Drago this whole time. I turned him up a bit, but yeah, it's. I wonder what it could be that's forcing all these things in the background to happen.
Again, I've heard in British media that it's the Russians. So it must be the Russians.
It's probably the Russians. This is a tweet that I came across somewhere somebody shared. Let me just read this out. I'm genuinely confused. We're dumping Epstein files, parading names, laying out rope and PDF files like it's a damn spreadsheet, and then nothing. No rest, no purpose, no accountability. So what's the plan here exactly? Are we just supposed to stare at this and filth and rage scroll? Pretend exposure equals justice just because right now it feels like the system is saying, here's the proof, we're the monsters, now go back to work and shut up. This isn't followed by real consequences, then all this truth isn't a reckoning, it's just another sick reminder that there are two sets of rules, and the worst somehow never play by either. I think that's pretty succinct.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's a very good description of the current situation. It also shows that this generation of people, and when I say this generation, I mean all of us, are a bunch of fucking cowards. Because if this was, I think, if this was, revealed to our parents or grandparents, there would be all hell. All hell would break loose. But because, a lot of people in these new generations have become fucking pussies, and all they do is like scroll their phones all fucking day and do nothing. They expect someone else to do this for them. And it's crazy because many times I've heard from people that I consider defeatist, they said, like, even if something is, oftentimes they would say, even if something is revealed, people will do nothing because nobody does anything anymore. Unless they're controlled, which of course we've seen from the protests you've mentioned. So in essence, people will protest about the dumbest shit you can imagine. But once the biggest scandal in human history is finally confirmed, they sit at home. So yeah, protests are organic; they happen completely naturally.
But Palma did all these other things in Serbia too. Apparently, I don't know. He had bunga bunga parties, just like what's his name, Berlusconi. In any case, I've got a couple of videos here. The first one is a clip of Trump answering a reporter's question that some people might not like. Then we've got 3 videos, each about 2.5 minutes long. It's like a thing from Instagram that I saved about the island. 2 of which I haven't even seen, so I'm going to put those on, and let's get into that.
At the crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Is that supposed to be a bad thing?
Okay, that's enough of that, because that song is definitely going to earn me another copyright warning or whatever the hell it's called here on YouTube. But here we go. Sorry for the formatting, but this is what you get.
Island. To understand it fully, we've remodeled the entire island, and we've divided it into 3 main sections. So we can tell the complete story of how this place was built and what it was hiding. The first villa sits on a point just below the main house, built years after Epstein purchased the island. Next to it is another residence, connected to the pool complex by a lower level doorway. This one even had an outdoor bath backed by a giant mirror looking out toward the sea. Facing the ocean is a wide stone patio. Set into the floor are two mirrored shell designs, along with the letter E. It may have been decoration, or something more symbolic. Above it all is the main house itself, the largest residence on the island. When Epstein bought Little St. James in 1998, this house was already here, but he had it remodeled and expanded into part of a much larger complex. The sea-facing side has a veranda, while the back of the house opens into the pool area. That pool complex is massive. It has 4 cabanas, a pergola, and a large swimming pool in the middle. At the far end of the pool was a statue of a seated archer, and beyond it, a painted compass that some mistook for a helipad. Parts of the pool complex were 2-storied, with staircases and hidden doors that led into lower levels. Not far away, along the beach, another villa was hidden behind thick trees. Visitors usually arrive by sea. Boats pulled into the island's jetty, which had a covered loading and waiting area. Those who came by...
I've got a really bad feeling about this music.
It had small shelters for passengers and luggage.
I just got like
2
50
strange
fucking
details
ideas
stand out.
of what could be done with
At the
this
top
island.
of a slope is a giant monkey statue, and beside
Especially
it,
now that
a
the
stone
Stark Treaty is no
staircase
longer
that
in
leads up the
force,
hill
and
and stops abruptly. earning
Oh,
the
that's
name
right.
the
That's
Stairs
another thing
Beyond.
that we should get into, the START
This
Treaty.
northern
But
section of the island
before
is
we
meant
before
to
we do
impress.
that, I just want to say nuclear tests were
Moving
done
toward the
on
center
islands
of the
before,
island.
you know. So what I would do if I had any power, and luckily for those guys I don't have,
Tucked into the trees is a low building,
I would just
almost hidden from
do
view.
all the
Remodel.
things that needs to
Its
be done
purpose is still
on the
unknown.
island. Do all the research to
Just
see what the fuck they were
Just
doing.
beyond it,
Make videos and stuff like that. And then when you're done with that, put all the people who were ever on that island, put them back on the island, and then test a nuclear device. I mean, I think that would solve a lot of problems on the planet. And when that is done, you can just you can have more sea. Yeah, it's going to be more sea for a lot of people.
In one case,
Unfortunately, I think the island is too close to other islands, so it would have to be like a very minimal yield weapon.
It can be a
but
tactical one. It can be a tactical one.
it looks like a single path, but it may cover a water pipe. that connects
Um,
the island's fountain.
the island's fountain, yeah. I watched some videos of some guy jumping onto this island. You can find them. It was 2 years ago. It's very interesting, to say the least. But yeah, I think we've seen enough of this. I was expecting more or better.
Yeah, man. So, I already
Facts.
feel better because I see all these Western values, and democratic values and stuff like that. It's obviously a very, very nice place.
As if it had been stripped bare.
Hey, you know what's funny? This is a golden dome. And also, Al-Aqsa Mosque has a golden dome. And also,
Yeah.
Trump wants to build another golden dome. Funny that, huh?
Yeah. Once 3
Just
golden
coincidence.
domes are completed, we have an event happening, I presume.
I wouldn't be able to confirm or deny anything. Let me go through here. Oh, yes, we've got the what's it called? George Orwell map of Eurasia, Oceania, and what is it? People's Federation of East Asia. Which is basically where we're like 15 years away from this. Tops.
Yeah, probably.
But I don't think they're going to get quite everything that they hoped for. Let's put it that way. Also,
well, I
this is
mean,
not.
the Oceania is too big, and I at least I hope that the people of Africa will not want to be part of the cabal that likes the little people.
I've got one from the previous recording. Hold on, it's from Animakata, so it's worth finding. Where is it?
Oh, the dictators, and so on and so on. Right?
Spheres of influence, yeah.
That one is more precise, I think.
Yeah, there it is. There we go. It's cannibals and pedophiles, dictators, narco cartels, and mutilations and genocide, and then hell. So yeah, I think this is closer to reality, at least where things are going, basically.
And I think I would choose the dictators right away because I would much rather be kidnapped by them than these other guys.
We've got another 2 memes, and if you have anything to say, Drago, now would be the time.
Oh.
No? It's a radical idea here on screen.
Yeah, I can't believe that this guy is saying this publicly. I mean, he should be in a camp or somewhere.
If he's probably not British, I'll tell you that. if he's British, then it might be his last tweet. Yeah. And then we've got this one. I think I'm going to be getting into VPN soon, setting it to Epstein Island. Drago, as always, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your patience with me and our minimal technical difficulties today, as opposed to last time, which was fun. We'll be back soon. Everybody, like, share, subscribe. You know what to do. Drago, thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.